Form is emptiness. Emptiness is form. So this means that ultimate nature of form is emptiness. And that emptiness relates to form. Form refers to earth, water, fire, wind, what else? Space, air, right? Emptiness is the ultimate, right? So many ways you can explain. Samsara is beginningless, right? But it's also emptiness. There is from something to become nothing, and from nothing to become something, impossible. The Thich Nhat Hanh said that. It's very beautiful. I think it's an amazing quote. People think when we died, that's end of our life. We're gone, no longer. Which means from something to become nothing. That's not true. From something to become something, right? So that's why samsara is beginningless. Even though our body, when we die, becomes something, and become, cause or condition, become causes for something. No end of our body. There is no end of our body. Same as our mind. That's what we call dependent origination. Relatively, samsara is beginningless. Because of like that, circle goes around. Everything is, change into become something. But here, form is emptiness. Emptiness is also form. That's emptiness. That's the ultimate. And due to the character of emptiness, those forms are emptiness. And it is also free from subject and object. It is the nature of the non-dual reality. If we do not recognize the ultimate or the nature of five aggregates, then there is no enlightenment. There is no enlightenment. Enlightenment is beyond the samsara and nirvana. What is that? That is what we call the ground or the base. Base, B-A-C-A-S-E, base. So this base is our awareness, okay, or true innate nature of everything. So when we explained this, there are 5 different qualities. Okay, maybe this is very helpful. The ground or base, that's what we call enlightenment, or beyond samsara and nirvana. So the first quality is we call uncompounded, which means without cause and conditions. Now we are not talking relative level, okay? Don't think in that level. Otherwise you will, confused. So this is the beyond samsara and nirvana, which is the without cause and condition. We call it uncompounded. I don't know if that's correct or not. Unconditioned or no compounded or something, which means without cause and conditions. So when we look deeply into the true inner nature of the mind and everything, we find that it is uncompounded. Why do we find this? Because it is not made up of these five aggregates. The innate true nature of mind is beyond the compounded aggregates, because true awareness is not produced by cause and conditions. The true nature of mind never changes under any circumstances or any situation, because it is free from cause and conditions. It is free from, the three times. There's no past, no present, no future. Nothing to do with the nature of mind three times. Why is that? It is because the three times are only concepts made by duality thinking. Past, there is a past because there is a present. There is a present because there is a future. It's our imagination. The nature of mind is without three times. So it's never change. Okay, that's first qualities. Second quality is self-arising. Ramjong. Rang means self. Zhong means arising in Tibet. This means nobody created it, because this base is beyond cause and conditions. So if it had been created by someone, then that would mean that it had cause and conditions, right? Then it would change. So in Tibet we call it Ramjong Di Rikpa, Ramjong Rikpa. Ramjong means self-arising. Rikpa means the awareness, which means self-arising wisdom or awareness.
Are you talking about the mind here?
No, I'm talking about the base. I'm talking about the ground. I'm talking about enlightenment.
Is ground and grounded being the same thing? Are those used interchangeably?
No, it's different.
They're different.
Okay. If you understand these qualities, then you understand the ground. So these qualities are the characteristic of the ground. Okay? Now don't think about the relative level. We're talking about the base, the enlightenment. Ramjong Rigpa, okay, in Tibet. Self-arising awareness. So, Buddha said that, if everything is destroyed by fire, the sky, like for instance, remains as it is, right? Can't destroy. Similarly, the self-arising, the awareness, self-arising, the energy of the wisdom, awareness, will never diminish under any circumstances. That's why always we have this Buddha nature, without three times. There's no time. Third quality is infinite vastness. These words actually we are not using in general, right? Ordinary conversation. So maybe you're very hear this kind of words new. In Tibet we never talk about this just in in general. This is very, very sort of, actually the Dzogchen teaching, they use all these words. So the third quality is, which means, spacious openness. Why is it spacious and infinite? Because because we can never find the edge of the Rigpa or the awareness, the borderline of our true nature, or the limits of the mind. We'll never find anything because it is infinite. Understand? And then the fourth quality is indescribable. Why is the nature of the best, the mind, the Rigpa, indescribable? Actually, when we describe something, we use the words, right? The words are limitations made by dualistic, conceptual, thoughts. So since we are talking about something beyond duality, there is nothing to explain. Can't explain. The basic nature is free from, what do you call it? We have in the Heart Sutra, there are 8 limiting conceptions, that, which are, eternalism and nihilism, birth and cessation, coming and going. Can you say that in the Nagarjunas from the root of Madhyamikas?
He says that which arises
Interdependent.
does not cease and does not arise. It is not nothing and not eternal. It does not come and does not go. It is not different and not the same. To the one who teaches peace, the pacification of all projection, to the most sublime of all who speak, to the perfect Buddha, I pay homage.
So that's 8. Basic nature is free from the 8 limiting conceptions. Very famous, that is the very famous quote from Nagarjuna's Middle Way. So absolute true nature is beyond every conceptual extreme and limitation. That is the fourth. Fifth quality is beyond the levels of samsara and nirvana. What does this mean? Samsara and nirvana is interdependent each other. Okay? Samsara is the result of wrong point of view, right? And always changing. Impermanence. Nirvana is the opposite of that. So it is just, another creation of, the duality mind, samsara and nirvana. So in this basic nature, even the name samsara and nirvana do not exist. So the basic nature of mind is the great emptiness. Therefore, the basic nature is free from samsara and nirvana. You should look to your own mind. Is this true or not? This teaching is about your mind, our mind. It's not somebody else's mind. You bring these teachings, understand, make sure understand these teachings, and then put in your mind, practice. Is this true or not? When you really go deep into your practice, you will see, is this true or not? Everything is describable without cause and conditions, without times or not. You can investigate. This is not just like history, Yeah?
When we talk about samsara, the way I'm understanding is that it's not out here. It's a creation of your mind, and it's very individual. The way your mind works.
Yes, samsara is everything. There are two, common samsara and individual samsara. You know, same as the common, liberation and individual liberation. Commonly, the samsara is beginningless. Just I told you, nothing end goes around. But when you get enlightenment like this, you understand the nature of mind. Your point of view, that is the end of samsara. There is an end of samsara. There is a beginning of samsara. But in generally, samsara is no end and no beginning. So that's why this basic nature is beyond samsara and nirvana. Samsara is another concept of our duality, dualistic, the thoughts. Okay? Everything is dependent, relative. This is relative actually. When we say samsara, and then people think, what is not samsara? Oh, it's a nirvana, right? It's opposite everything. It's a small, oh, this is long, because there is a long things, then there is a small things. There's a big, then there is a small. Everything depends, everything is our concept, we made all these things.
And I think sometimes it's easier for Westerners, because they've heard the concepts of heaven and hell, to think, oh, samsara is like hell, and so it's over here, or up here, or down here, or whatever, but it's in here.
Most time, according to Buddhism, yes, most, it's samsara and nirvana. It depends how you see, how you perceive. But we don't know. There are so many worlds exist, so many, what do you call it, universe exist. We don't know there is a hill room, or there is a, we don't know because we can't see it, right? So we can't say there is a no hill room. But we can see that, the suffering and all this illusion, hallucination, all this come from our minds. That's for sure, because of the grasping. So, you need to investigate your mind, right? You have to consider whether this is really true or not. And you don't understand something or hesitate, that's why you have to discuss. That's why you need a teacher. You have to ask. When you really go through this process, this meditation, this teaching, I'm sure you can understand correctly, just to listen a few times the teachings. You can't. You just first you study a lot. You need to hear the teachings a lot, and then you need to investigate a lot, and then you are unsure. Your strength is not there. Then you need to ask your teacher. You ask. You need to discuss about that with your community Dharma practitioner. Then eventually you will get it. So this is not something really just talking. This is really part of our life. The basic, the ultimate our life. We have a relative life, ultimate life. We need to know both. In order to know the ultimate life, you have to investigate. You have to meditate. You have to learn it. You have to listen. You have to ask teacher. Everything. Try to bring clear and vivid understanding into your heart and mind. And then relax. Right? So it's important to examine the things, these things you perceive outside, like, for instance, the house, a tree, start by analyzing something like, house, for instance, In the beginning, we think of this thing that we call house. This is nice house, right? It's a single whole. This is a body, a single whole. This is because we have not analyzed it. Just we give the name. This is house. But when when we do we find that this house is really made of many things. The house doesn't exist. Many things, the combinations. So when when you break this sort of combination down, then we will take apart our concept of it is a house, and we will then think of it as a piece of wood or stone or metal or so many things, right? So these again are collections of many particles. And if we take one stone and divide it into 4 pieces, and we will have done away with our concept of it's a single thing. And as we continue to divide one of these sections into parts, and we will end up with conceptual particles that have no inherent exist, become emptiness. We don't know that, but the meditators know that, scientists know that. When they investigate, they get nothing. They said nothing. They are nothing. They said nothing, but we in Buddhism we call it emptiness. So that's why Heart Sutra says form is emptiness. Do you understand? This is very easy, right? This is very easy. Form is emptiness. It's when we don't investigate and analyze like this, that we perceive things in the form of house and body and so on. So the fact that dependently arising phenomena arise continuously from out of emptiness, which cannot be identified as anything is emptiness is form. So these 2 lines, emptiness, form is empty, emptiness, this is form. These 2 lines reject the extremes of appearance and nothingness. Very, very good, And emptiness is not other than form. Form is not other than emptiness. We see that emptiness and interdependent are interchangeable. This is how to examine the outside of the phenomena. Like when you investigate the house, do you understand? House doesn't exist, right? Do you understand that? That's how we investigate the outside, all the phenomena. Selflessness of phenomena. And now you examine inside, looking at your own aggregates. What we call, this is one body, exactly same. One body I have, I don't have many bodies. I have one body. So this is what you need to analyze and investigate again like that. You may think of your body as a single whole, right? We always think that, but if you cut it up and divide into, like for instance 5 sides, then you destroy your idea of the body. And you're left with a idea of side, right? 5 sides. And by distracting, one of these sides into, like head, shoulder, hand, and you destroy the idea of sight again. Like this is how you investigate inside, which means your aggregates. And eventually you will find the body is emptiness. That's how you understand, right? Become body emptiness. Not enough. Once you understand the emptiness, then you have to meditate on. Because why we do this? Right now we grasp our body, I, right? We have I because of our body. So once you understand the emptiness, meditate on, then they easily let go your grasping, attachment to your body. Then very easy to get enlightenment. Understand? I don't know you want to investigate like this or not. But if you want to investigate, understand emptiness, there are two ways to get the realize the emptiness. This is the you investigate everything and make sure there exists or not. And then eventually you understand the basic nature of all phenomena. That's the middle ways method understand about emptiness. And then great perfection, the Dzogchen point of view, the teacher gives you the pointing out the nature mind. You don't have to investigate outside and body, because that's why the Dzogchen is the highest, the best method, because you don't have to investigate, understand all this. No, you don't have to, because the teacher actually point out the nature mind. There you go. Your nature mind is there, right? But this is no dangerous, right? When you investigate like this, you will understand, But the other one, Dzogchen point of view, that is very dangerous. If you are not ready, you don't understand. Even though you teach, the teacher may, point out the nature mind, but the student can't get, because student not there, maybe not ready, right? If the student and teacher, the karmic connection, and student is a wrapping, the mind, and teacher has the qualities, point out the nature mind, then easy. Within 1 second, understand everything that we talk about. Everything. But this way, the middle way to understand the emptiness, the interdependence origination, the union of appearance of emptiness through middle way, and you analyze, you use your wisdom, your intelligent mind, and eventually you understand emptiness. That's no dangerous. But that's also intellectual, right? Once you understand, very important, you need to meditate on it.
So when you say dangerous, what do you mean?
Dangerous means that's happened in India one time, many times. People really believe, like, there is nothing exist, everything emptiness. Oh, then I can kill. It's nothing exists. Why I can't kill? They do something like that, It's a no karma. No bad karma, no good karma, no heal room, nothing. Nothing happened, So people think there's nothing exist. That's why danger. The Padmasambhava says that your view is like a sky, deep, profound, vast, openness. But your conduct is like what?
Big flower, like paying attention to as fine as flower.
Exactly. Detail. Your conduct is you have to follow the karma. You have to, think about the cause and condition. That's why, that's very important to understand. So another danger is there are two extremes. You know that? Nihilism, eternalism. Very dangerous extreme. If you think there's nothing, everything is emptiness. There's nothing. What is it? What is that? Nihilism, yeah. If you think everything is permanent, or it's arises itself, no interdependently, that's eternalism. So Buddhism view is not beyond those two extremes. That's why also another danger there. So if you understand this, that's why here says the emptiness is form is emptiness. That also, for instance, our body, even though our body appears, it is non-existence. Body, there are two extremes, right? So if we say our body is no exist, emptiness, you think that then there's nothing. No, but still our bodies appears and works very well. But then you think, oh, our body is not emptiness because we see this. It's working. That means you are not enough to investigate our body. So you are sort of almost like eternalism, There's two extremes. Very important. Buddha said that Buddhism is not, it's middle way. Emptiness and dependent arising are therefore really established as inseparable. That's why interdependent emptiness always inseparable. Understand? So there are many people who try to meditate on emptiness, right? But I believe that those who really know such meditation are very few. Very few. And also you may find it very hard even to, conceptualize the view of emptiness, especially at the beginning. Everything is difficult. But, you should think, positively and make sort of continuous effort. And if you keep sort of inspiring yourself, you can develop it, even if you don't yet have sort of full understanding. So this is sort of, the view and how you understand the true selfness. But in order to understand the emptiness, this view, really, really important to practice good foundation. Understand? Without bodhicitta, without compassion, can't practice emptiness. Very dangerous. Tong Nyet, Nyar Ji, Nyang Bo Chen. How you say this? Tonyet is emptiness. Nyarji means compassion. Nyangbochen means the essence. Okay? Great Dharma practitioners, they understand the essence of emptiness is compassion.
Would that be because without compassion one cannot fully comprehend that interconnectedness?
Yes, exactly.
Let me say, emptiness is the womb of compassion.
Emptiness is the what?
The womb of compassion.
Yeah, the root of compassion.
No, womb.
Saying mother.
Yeah, womb of compassion. Yes, you. Yeah, I heard that a lot, but I didn't like that kind of, emptiness. Yeah, that's I think. Well, the essence of emptiness. I would say the essence of emptiness. The combination. I think the combination, of the ultimate bodhicitta and relative bodhicitta. Any questions? We teach these things, right? But you don't have to meditate on this if you don't have good foundation. First, you need to have good foundation, and then practice this. But you can try, if you want, investigate yourself, or investigate the outside things. But very easily to understand the body. Very easy to understand the body. Sometimes you investigate. People think endless. There is also misunderstanding there. You investigate, you cut this finger, and then the piece of the other one, you cut again. You cut again. Eventually what happened? In Buddhist point of view, eventually nothing. Nothing. That we call emptiness. But some people say you cut, no end. No end, right? People think that. But this finger is, what do you call it? Compounded, right? Something is compounded, eventually finish. If you cut, eventually finish it because of this material, There is no way to endless. Many people say, even though like when I was at Tibet, we learning these things, and we have everyday debate, and some people, monks think endless. You cut, okay, this piece you cut it two, divide into two, and then that piece divide into two. Do this. Eventually, there's nothingness. There's limitless, like endless. But they don't think this is this finger is this part of the compounded or made by cause and conditions. They don't think. They just think in their mind. They think their mind, yes, of course, you can cut endless, right? But this is not your mind. This is your cut and finger. So eventually become empty. You understand that? Okay, if you understand that, that's its emptiness. It's that emptiness, and then again it appears. Everything. That's what we call the union of emptiness and appearance. If you understand, that's all. Now meditate. Okay, 10 minutes. Again, that same meditation today. Breath practice in 3 stages. Mostly important is let your breath dissolve into your mind, okay? You understand when I say that? You do. What that means? Let it go. What? um, your breath. Let your breath dissolve your mind. It's actually not like that. It's actually, which means you need to look deeply into your mind. Can you feel? Can you experience if you look deeply into your mind? How you feel? Something is there still? Or can you try to find out the awareness, the clarity, the union of the clarity and awareness? Can you find out that? When you looking deeply into your awareness, into your mind, can you still feel? Can you still see the things? Okay? Most important is do not follow your thoughts. You need to control your thoughts. Otherwise, never see the basic nature if you not controlling your thoughts. So, very important. And relax is very important. If you're a very beginner, this is good. You breathe in, focus on breath, and then let go. And then breathe out, focus on breath. It's very shortly. You can do that very shortly. Breathe in, focus on breath, let go, and try to, find the nature mind, and then breathe out. And do again that very shortly. You can do that very shortly. If you're not beginners, just focus on breath. Breathe in, and then just you need to focus on the mind. And when thoughts arise, then again focus on breath. But when you beginner, then it's difficult to just remain focus on your mind. So you have to very shortly, very quickly, focus on breath, focus on mind, focus on breath, focus on mind, like that. Okay. Shut up.